Welcome back to Bebop Review. Today I want to talk about somebody called EdtheJazzman. He's an alto sax player, and what he is he's put 5 videos on Charlie Parker. They're all taken from Charlie Parker's solo on Confirmation. He's taken the music from the Charlie Parker Omnibook, which you have to just take it into your mind that the Charlie Parker Omnibook is not super accurate, and he's also taken the chords off the Charlie Parker Omnibook as well, which are not accurate. So you have to take that into consideration when we're looking at these solos. Basically talks for a couple of minutes on Charlie Parker, then most of the video is talking about going to his Facebook page, or to his main website, which is I'd look at his main website. He's selling a lot of courses, which seem reasonably priced to me, beginners saxophone lessons and things on jazz harmony and stuff. So yeah, I suppose okay. Personally, the way he plays, he's like a smooth jazz player. I actually don't like that kind of playing at all. I just can't stand it, to tell you the truth, So I'm a bit prejudiced. So you've got to take that as well, that I'm in this critical review, that I'm actually being prejudiced myself, because I really don't like that way of playing. I can't stand personally why anybody would want to play like that when you've got, Charlie Parker, and Sonny State and Cannibal Adderley and all that. It's just alien to me why you wouldn't want to be playing that kind of music all the time. But some people like playing pop music, have a good time, playing that poppy sax sound, and I don't know. So it's just my prejudice. But what this video is for my subscribers, right? It's obviously a review, but it's for any of you who are interested in seeing me analyse those Charlie Parker lines that he's put on. But it's also, I want my subscribers to analyse them themselves. Take this as a task. I want you to analyse these solos and tell me what's happening, and then when I do it, see if you've got the same as me. And if you haven't and you disagree with me, it'd be interesting to read your comments. Now on video 3, he puts on 2 lines, right, and then he finishes them off with 3 notes, he said, the jazz guy. And on those videos, he's actually got it wrong, those 3 notes. Charlie Parker would never finish a line off like that, with those 3 notes like that. Tell me why he wouldn't finish it off. Now, if you've been watching all my videos, you should have got it in your head now, why Charlie Parker wouldn't finish a line off like that. What I'll do is I'll actually finish it off how Charlie Parker would finish it off, so I'll show you. So, right now, I want you to go. The videos are all linked below this video, right? They're all in links, so go and watch them all, write it all down, and tell me what your analysis is, and I'm going to analyse them now, okay? Okay, so first of all, I just want to apologise if you're hearing some banging in the background. It's the skateboard park that's next to my workshop, and I can't do anything about it. I've got the microphone, which is a Shure SM7B, pointing away from the wall. It's supposed to not pick up sound from the back, this mic, so you should hopefully just be hearing my voice. But if you keep hearing this banging, please don't complain to me. I can't do anything about it. Okay. Right, so first thing I want to talk about in this video that EdtheJazzman's put on, this was the lesson 1 is. First of all, he's put everything into C major, so we don't have the problem of incidental problem as we got in the Charlie Parker Omnibook. The Charlie Parker Omnibook, which he's taken these snippets from, doesn't have any key signatures, so you have a real problem identifying notes to chords. But the way he's done it, he's actually put it all into C major, so any incidentals you see are actually incidentals, and you don't have to start converting it. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing he's done. Although, personally, myself, I would leave it in the original key and then work on it in the original key. That's my preference, because I know that Charlie Parker plays certain lines in certain keys, so I want to see what these are. Now, his argument is that you actually put all these lines into every key, like what David Baker does in his book on how to be a bebop. But Charlie Parker doesn't do that. He only plays certain lines in certain keys, what sound good. I've noticed other sax players do that as well. Sonny Stitt does that, and I think Cannibal Adderley does it as well. They like certain lines in certain keys, Anyway, so he's put it in this key, which we'll do it the way he's done it. We'll analyse it like he's done it in this key. Right, the first thing that I noticed is, and this is something I've told you before, you should never believe anybody, including me. And when I checked his solo against Charlie Parker, there's a mistake, and it's just here, this part here, you see. He hasn't written that down right, and for some reason, I don't know why he's done that, but because he's written it down wrong, this whole analysis falls to pieces, in my opinion, and I'm going to show you why. So let's just have a look in the Charlie Parker Omnibook, that little bit where he's actually copied off. Okay, so if you look here at the Charlie Parker Omnibook, you see this bit here. See how it's written? C, B flat, A, D. Now, if you look at the way he wrote it, you see how he's written it? D, B, C, D. It's just wrong. He's just written it down wrong. And because he's done that, he's actually missing one of Charlie Parker's main building blocks, which brings the line right. To me, I want to say that that's not actually wrong to play what he's doing there, but it misses out what Charlie Parker's doing, and I'll actually explain it. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to have this. The thing I don't like about this is, see how he's written it down wide in 4 bars. So he's put 2 bars there and then 2 bars there. So he's seeing everything wide. Now I can't see stuff really clearly when it's written like that. I like to see it in 4 bars altogether if you're going to look at it like this. Personally, I'd like to take it off the transcription and look at everything, what's coming before, what's going after, to make sure I can see what Parker's doing. Right, but I know why he's done this. He's done this for beginners because it looks really clean and you can see everything, and it's all right, but Bebop is not beginners' music. It's advanced people's music, people who, it's not for people to come into and think, oh, this is interesting what Charlie Parker did. Oh, yeah, I might use that in my my little pop song when I do it. It's not about that. Bebop is a really high-level music, and it's about people really studying. So you've got to really have good technique before you even start playing it, and you've really got to be quite advanced on harmony and music and stuff anyway before you start playing around. It's not a beginner stuff. You know what I mean? This is kind of like written as if you're a beginner, you can start playing Charlie Parker, and there's no chance. I'm telling you, it takes years to play Bebop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it out in his key as he's done it, right? So it's going to be like where he's done it, but I'm going to write it out in 4-bar phrase, so it's easy for you to see. And we'll go to OneNote. I'm going to be messing about in OneNote, okay? Okay, so this is how Ed the Saxman has wrote it down. As you can see, we've got this bit here that's actually wrong, not in the same as the Charlie Parker Omnibook. We've got a C major 7 chord here, which is just wrong, basically. They never played major 7 chords. It's not even in the Charlie Parker Omnibook, it's just a C chord. So I'm going to get rid of that as well. So let's go down. So I've corrected it here. Right. So as you can see, we've corrected this chord. It's now C. And I've corrected this bit and put it right. So let's have a look, see what Charlie Parker's doing. I'm just looking to see if things are running as they're supposed to run. Yeah, it actually looks okay. We're running down here just 3 notes. This is, as Ed says, I think he says that in his video, this is D minor 7. So we're carrying on with D minor 7 just here. So this is D minor 7. This is B, running down to this B, and then he's going straight into, right, Ed calls this a flat 9, this note here, this A flat, but it isn't a flat 9 at all. It's got nothing to do with that chord. That note there has got more to do with that chord, that C chord, right? This is M5B, an enclosure. That's the note. I mean, Ed's actually read David Baker's book because he talks about an enclosure in one of these videos. But that's half a tone above and half a tone below, and you're running up to it. Now, this is enclosure with those notes there, 1, 2, 3, 4. But Parker's just running down fast. I think it's because of speed. But that there is definitely M5B. Okay? So he's going from M5B and he's reaching from this. So he's moving in to this chord. Now, all these notes here are about surrounding that note. They're not about that chord. So that should not be called a flat 9. Okay? and then is running down to to M1, which is this arpeggio, E, B, G, and then is running up to this D. This is M1, look. Running up to this D, which is a figure. This is a figure as well. I can't remember what to call it. But this figure actually, if you look how it runs, it's running into this B, which is half a step, into another M1, C, E, G, which is finishing on. You see what I mean? That's an arpeggio. That's M1, but it is off the beat. It's coming off the beat. It's quite clever, actually. So that's how I see that. So I'll let you have a look at that, at my analysis of it. Okay. And so just to finish off, I'll just show you what the voice leading is. Right, Parker is playing, it starts here basically, it's playing A, then that runs to that A flat, which runs to that G. Like I said, when you get this kind of stuff, M5B, which this is, it's always about voice leading basically. Pretty much most of the time, so that running to that. Now this here, M1 is about taking the line back up. Now he's putting in this M6A, just as elaboration, but it's all about M1's going up, you see. So where's the voice leading going? That G. So basically the voice leading is going A flat, just get that. It's going A flat, G, and up to that G. So I hope you understood that and managed to get it right. I hope you got it right. And if you disagree with what I actually said, I'll be quite interested. But to me, it looks very straightforward, actually. Okay, so let's go on to video 2 now. Okay, I'm looking at the video 2. And I've changed this chord to C instead of C major 7 because I don't know why everybody puts C major 7. They're obsessed with it. So Ed starts off and he looks at this one here and he says that this is a changing tone, or he says it's an enclosure, but it's the same thing. It's actually a changing tone. An enclosure is a special type of changing tone that is chromatic, but this is half a tone below but a full tone above. So you've got a changing tone moving to this here. So I'm quite happy with that. That's C, which is the 7th of D minor. Right, this here is called M30. M30 usually drops down 3 chromatic notes there, but because there's only a half tone anyway between, a half step anyway between B and C, it just runs down C to B, you see. Then A, so we're running down 3 notes in scale, then it jumps a third, right? In this instance, it's a major third. And then you could play, if you wanted to, you could play a G there and set off doing something else, you know what I mean, with a G. But in this instance, what Parker's doing, it's really clever. This is one of the reasons why Charlie Parker is a genius, and it's just impossible to try and figure out how he can play so good, you know. But what happens is, what Parker's doing is this: he jumps down to this D instead of playing a G there, as you would normally do. You would emphasise that changing tone and use it to your advantage. Well, I would anyway. If I were coming down, I'd write that. First thing I think is, oh, play G and carry on from G. But Parker jumps a minor third from that D, F to D. And I tell you another player who can do this really well as well, and that is Bud Powell. Bud Powell, who is also nearly a genius. He also does this same type of thing. This fantastic ability to jump minor thirds within scale runs and create something really fantastic. Now what happens here is, if you look, if I find my mouse, this is an ornamental changing tone. This is the note you're going to here, right? So you've got changing tones here running to it. It repeats itself here on this note here, see? So it's ornamental, and it's coming in from a note other than that note. So it's a modified ornamental changing tone, right? And then Parker runs up to what Ed calls a 13th, right? Now, I looked at that 13th. I thought, why the hell is Parker jumping a 13th? It's just not like him to do things like that. But as I carried on, this is what happens. If you can't actually figure out something when you're doing something like this, just carry on and try and have a broad look, and then you can figure out what's happening. So Parker's running. I'll come back to that 13th. So Parker's in G7, right? And then we're playing another B just here. So we're carrying on with these Bs. So actually, this changing tone's causing a voice leading line, isn't it? We're going from this D here. Let me just get to and. We're going from this D, C, B, and we're still on B, right? And then it's running down another changing tone here. I'll keep this green so you can see what's happening. This is another changing tone, right? Which leads to that A, which is the 6 of that. So it's 6C6, isn't it? Right, so you've got a definite voice leading line here. Look, D, B, A, right? But if you look at the top bit here, Parker's actually playing this emphasising this C, as Ed says. I totally agree with him. He's running down M30, right? And then the last note of M30 is this. Let's do it in red. Is this F here? So that's running down smoothly. Then he's going from that F on top edge to that E, right? To like another E there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's just like he wants to keep, because he's made this jump here, and this is kind of not right now, because you were coming down, so this is not limited, this is out of this, it's not the same. He decided to give you some of this line, this top line, kind of keep it going a bit before he finishes on this bottom line. It's just really, that's how I see it anyway, you know what I mean? We jump that B to G, and he's jumping down to E, and then taking that. But that's off the beat, you know what I mean? But it is kind of keeping this top line steady, do you know what I mean? So it's like unifying this line, but the main line is this bottom line, this D, because of all these changes, this B to B, you know what I mean? And then this other changing changing tone. It's actually definitely taking you down. But Parker just finishes this line so abruptly, he's decided just to keep giving you a little bit, just to keep you happy. And I just see that as the genius of Charlie Parker, that he can actually do things like that. This here, right, is just, this note here is, this here is just, obviously, M2, which you already know by now. Okay, so we just hitting the G, and we just elaborate it. So you could see that as just going from G to E, you know what I mean? It's just that he's put M2 in on it. So that's how I see that. So I see that as really clever personally. So I hope you get that. And then I'm just wondering if you've got anything different to me. So let's move on to video, video number 3 now. Okay, this is video 3. There's 2 lines that are very similar, and he's finished them off. Can you see he's finished them off in this red? They're not exactly same as on the Parker book, you know, Arthur Parker. I'll just show you. Looking at that on the Parker book, can you see Parker carries it on, and the solo's quite long. But what he wants to do is he wants to get it over 251. So he's kind of made it, limited it down just to that. So we'll look at this top line. I don't think I'm going to look at bottom. I think I'll just skip it after this one. I'm just going to look at top line. You can do the bottom line if you want, because it's pretty easy if you do one. I mean, that's just M2, obviously. So I'll just look at this top line, because this is something I haven't actually told you about. Okay, so I'll just show you this. This is something you haven't seen before, this bit here. I have to think of it myself, actually. This is called M15. This movement. If you look, the distance between that B and that E flat is a diminished fourth, right? So that is a diminished fourth, which pretty much tells you it's which pretty much tells you it's M15. Right, what it is from that B to that C is half a tone, then it's C to D is a full tone, then D to E flat is a half a tone, right? So we're running down M15 to this B. So things should be starting here. It's hard to tell exactly what's happening here. And then we're running up, this is standard stuff, we're running up this D, F, right, to this A flat here. Right, this here, from this part here, from here, I mean just doing a different colour. From there to there is M3B. That's M3B. Now M3B is made up of this line here going up to there, which is M1. It's an arpeggio, isn't it? That's a diminished arpeggio, isn't it? D, F, natural, A flat. So you've got a diminished arpeggio, right? But it's also about voice leading as well. Can you see? Because we're actually going into here. I'll just put it in another colour. I can find my mouse. This part here is M5B, which means voice leading is carrying on to there, because that's what M5B is all about, voice leading, right? So can you see that within Parker's group we've got a bigger pattern here. Let me find the mouse again. We've got a bigger pattern here, M3B, which is all these. Well, up to there, up to that G, from this note. M3B can also come as a different thing, but we're using M15 to get to it here. I'd have to have a look at this. Why Parker's decided to come in on a diminished fourth. You know, this interval drop of a diminished fourth through these. I need to look at the whole thing, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to show you it now, looking at it very micro. And like I said, when I was talking about the spiritual aspect, you really need to look at the whole solo and see where Parker's coming from. But I want to get this video done because I'm getting a bit tired now of it. So we've got M15, we're going into M3B. This is M5B. Let me just write that down. M5B, which you probably all know about now. When you've got this voice leading going from B to A flat to this G, and now you can see why these notes here are wrong. Ed's altered this. This is not what Parker actually plays, and we're going from this F to E. Now, there's actually nothing wrong with that. Remember, this chord here is C, right? This is G7, and this is D minor. So I forgot to write this in. But you can see that if you play that, I'll just play that on computer, let you listen to it, right? Right, if you've listened to that, to me, it don't quite sound. I won't say it doesn't sound right. It does sound right. There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't sound Parker-ish. Parker wouldn't play a line like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rewrite this end of this line and just show you what Parker would do. Okay. Now, as you can see, Parker, I've just finished it off, so you can see the voice leading now. I've just added another couple of measures, so you've got a nice voice leading line down to that E, which you didn't have before. So it's not an abrupt jump from G to E. It's running really nicely from this G down through down to this E. Can you see? So I hope you get that. Just have a listen to that. And that's that one then. So I hope you've got something out of that. So we will carry on to the next one. Okay, so this is video 4, and I've had a look at this. I tell you the truth, I just can't make any tail on it. We've got M2 here going into this, dropping down this line. I can't see. Then he jumps up into M5B there, and then he's dropping down to F to E again. This is what he's put in. It just don't make any. He's got to put it in because it don't make any sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to analyse this because to me it don't make any sense. I'm going to look at the actual line in the Charlie Parker Omni book, and then I'll analyse that and show you what Charlie Parker's doing. Okay? Okay, so this is the actual line in the Charlie Parker Omni book. This is in E flat. As you can see, he's playing this arpeggio down here, which is it's B minor 7. That when he plays something like that, B minor 7, right, it's usually followed by another exactly same line, but a tetrachord, and there probably is a tetrachord here if I look. B, C sharp, D, E. That's a B minor tetrachord to there, and he's elaborating it with M2 here. Can you see? And then he's running down. So this is the tetrachord down. So we're going from A. So see, there's like that's like a changing tone. So he's running down in this tetrachord to try and emphasize the distance between that A and B, which would be that B flat. So the voice line is going A there, B flat there. Then he's jumping up here to M5B, right, which is keeping this top line from this F sharp. In your interest, it's going F sharp, G, F sharp. It's just stopping it being abrupt. And then this A, the voice line is still on this line here, so we're going A. So this B flat, sorry, and then we're coming up from A, B, C. See, so it's going from B flat to C. So the voice line is going A, B flat, C. See, now that makes sense to me. See, his version of it, if you look, it just don't make any sense. You know, I just don't understand that at all. I can't see where it's going. You know, there's like a line here which seems to go nowhere, and a line here that doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's just bad, that. So that's how it should look. That's, you know, typical Charlie Parker, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that's video 4. I'm not going to go over the top with this. I mean, you should be able to follow me by now. So go and have a look at video 5. Okay, so this is the last one, video 5. I'm glad to have got to the end of this because I'm getting quite tired. I tell you, it really takes time editing videos and making these videos. Right, so this bit here is running up this is arpeggio and it's 6/4, so it's like D minor from second inversion, D, F, A into it, so it's like a trad thing. He's using the last 2 notes to take you into this tetrachord with changing tone here that goes into this tetrachord, which is B, C, D, E. That's a B natural tetrachord, and he's dropped down with that A, so this is that pattern again. Can't really call it now. Which drives into this B. This is B diminished, right? B diminished, which would normally link up to C, but we've got this extra bit in, which is D, E, F, G, which is a D, E, F, G, which is D minor tetrachord. So we've got a D minor tetrachord here running into let me see, this is a pure, God, this is very rare. This is an ornamental changing tone, but it's a pure one. You see, it starts off at C and then it finishes at C, and it alternates to B to D, back to B to C. So it's an ornamental changing tone that takes it back to C. That is incredibly rare to see. So well done, Ed, for getting a phrase with a pure ornamental changing tone in. And then this is just D minor, D, F, A, C, like he said, D minor, drops to E to this G. So I can't see. Let me see what if you're running on things. So B's. Yeah, I don't quite understand the voice line on this one. It's not quite as good as Charlie Parker's other stuff. We've definitely got a line here. We're going A, and there's this changing tone that's taking us to B, and then we've got this ornamental changing tone that's taking us to that C. So we're getting A, B, C. So it's going really nicely. If you expect us to go to D next or drop down to B, but we're actually going to G, aren't we? Well, it's dropping to the C. We've got a change to it's emphasising the C, then he's just finishing on G, so it might carry on. You don't know with Charlie Parker. Looking at the top end, there's nothing at the top end at all. I can't see. I can't see anything else. No, that the voice line is definitely going from this like A, B, C there, and then it's finishing on that G. So it's not a smooth line at the end, is it? So Parker's giving you a smooth line, but not finishing. Now, is that G emphasising anything at the top? You know what I mean? We've got that A flat there, and then this G. So it's kind of like running from that G down to that G. But that's not the voice line, is it? The voice line is going that B there. So A, B, C. You know, these changing tones are all pointing to these certain notes very strongly. So I'd expect the next bit to be D somewhere, but he's definitely going down. He does that in books, so you know that's Charlie Parker just finishing differently. But he's still got all this emphasising nice changes here. I would expect him to just carry on there, but he's obviously just finished for some reason on G. Interesting, that one. Okay, so that's it. I hope you got something out of watching this. I hope you had a go at analysing it yourself. If you can answer this last one with the voice leading better than me, I'll be quite happy to listen to what you say. So thanks very much, Ed the Jazzman, for putting these videos on so we could have a good go at analysing them. So I would say I've enjoyed doing this, but it's been hard work, I tell you. I'm not surprised not many people criticise other people's videos, because it goddamn takes a long time to make a video. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video, which will be HTPB video. Okay, so see you next time.